Okay, morning everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Coffee Reflections. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Kevin, and I'm a certified life transformation, wellness, and mindset coach. I'm excited to start this journey with you. My plan is every Monday morning, I will be sitting down with my favorite cup of coffee, and together we're going to take a few moments to pause, reflect, and dive into life's lessons. So here's how it works. I've gathered over time just some aha moments, insights, and quotes that move me, just little truths. And I have in this jar filled with little pieces of paper that have each small reflection on it. Each week, I'll pull one out, I'll read it, and then we'll spend a few minutes reflecting on what it means and how it can help us in our everyday lives. I believe that reflection is such a powerful tool for growth, and in a world where we're constantly on the go, these moments of stillness can bring clarity, purpose, and peace. I had intended to start this a couple weeks ago, but the new year have had different plans for me. The universe had different plans for me. I've been sick as a dog with a really terrible cough cold, which is also why I'm inside today. I originally wanted to go outside and do videos of me doing these recordings outdoors, sipping on some hot coffee, and just starting the day of the week. So let's get into today's reflection. Okay. Problems are like popcorn. They rarely come up one at a time. So I forget the exact source that I heard this from or read this from, but it's so freaking true. If you're anything like me, you've noticed that when things seem to go wrong, it when it rains it pours. And it is true that they really are like popcorn. It rarely comes one at a time. And I've learned when this happens, it's best to not really fight it or try to force good things to happen. And here's why. So I've learned through understanding the laws of the universe that there's different levels of frequency with each emotion. Or in other words, emotion is God's language. And if you look up a uh, map of consciousness, I forget the doctor's name, I can put it in the video description, you will see that from bottom to top, there are a series of emotions. The very bottom is nothing but low or high frequency, but low negative emotions. So fear, worry, concern, judgment, comparison, all of these are lower frequencies, lower vibrations of frequency. And so what happens is we tend to get so stuck in a low or a negative frequency that we try to manipulate our own vibration, our own energy into being good, into being positive. And when we do that, we're so focused on fixing the problem that now you're not even actually focused on your present moment. You're not focused on the present moment. And usually, when we're not in the moment, is when we are obsessing about something else, whether that's something that happened earlier or something that may or may not happen in the future. And then what happens is because you're not in that present moment, that low negative frequency, that low energy, it acts as a crab bucket. I like to use that analogy in my house. So usually, put it this way, a good example is I tend to find myself feeling a lot of road rage when I'm driving, especially now. Everyone is just constantly on their phone. Nobody's really considerate or caring of your space, your peace, your protection, your safety. Everyone's just in their own zone, their own movie, right? And so what happens is I'll get upset that a car cut me off or a car was taking too long at the red light. And then when I get upset, I get really angry and frustrated, and then I'll act out of that rage. I'll tend to, pump the gas and speed around that car. Maybe I'll beat my horn or, flip them off or something. But then what happens is now I get stuck behind another car that's not paying attention. Or I get caught up at a red light where that, douchebag that I just went around flipping off veers off next to me. And I get even more upset. So now I'm more upset at not only that person or that car, now I'm upset the whole situation, right? And then, like a crab bucket, I get pulled right back down into that crab bucket. Now, all I'm focused on is woe is me. Everyone is out to get me. Everyone seems to just not care about driving. Nobody's considerate. Nobody knows how to follow the rules. Nobody gives a shit, right? And then that trickles down into the rest of my day. Maybe I'll see something that my wife does and it irritates me. And then I'm like, oh my God, you're always doing this, right? You start using these same words, the same language that you use when you're upset or in a negative energy field. And then what happens is the whole day spirals out of control. And that's because you fixate on that problem and trying to fix that problem rather than just staying in the moment, grounding yourself, and just reflecting on, okay, this too shall pass. Not everything's personal. Not everything is all about you. And see, we tend to operate where we believe we are the main characters in our movie. But what we fail to really think about or consider is how we're all just extras in someone else's movie. You see? So when we're in this low energy, this negative frequency, now we're giving off more negative frequency, more negative energy. And as within, as without, as above, so below. It's the law of cause and effect, right? So the more negative energy you put out there, the more negative energy the universe is going to mirror to you for that time. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to fix all problems, but what I am saying is to take a moment to just pause, practice being still for a moment, take that deep, frustrated breath, and understand that, okay, I hear you. This is annoying. This is frustrating. I'm pissed off, but don't act because right now I'm not thinking clear. I'm not in a good state of mind. I'm not in a positive energy. And I know that the universe will mirror and magnify whatever frequency I am vibrating. Everything has a frequency, everything has a vibration. So in those moments, try to practice. And what I do is I try to practice just taking a deep breath, grounding myself, understanding what is causing me to feel upset. And then the more you do this, the more you start to question yourself rather than, hate on another person or another situation or to express all of this frustration with whatever else. Tend to take your own responsibility, even if it's something that you didn't cause or create, because you can't control other people's energy. You can't control other frequencies, right? And the more you do that, the more peace you will find in those moments. I heard a quote that said that, and I think it's actually one of my reflections that I'll eventually read, but I heard a quote and it was, um, observation without diagnosis is the highest form of intelligence. And when you really think about that, that is so difficult to do, which makes sense why it's one of the highest forms of intelligence. So I want you to take this as it, face value, whatever this resonates with you. And I hope that it helps somebody kind of look at something a little differently. So when you're upset, when you're angry, when you're frustrated, understand that, okay, this happened. There's nothing you can do about it that's going to stop that from happening. You can't stop it from happening again. You can't predict the future, and you can't predict when it's going to happen again or when you're going to be frustrated again. All you can do is control yourself, your action, your reaction, and just be in the moment. Sometimes shit sucks, and that's okay. But understanding yourself, understanding why you feel the way you're feeling, why you react the way you're reacting, you will look at the world through a different lens that will bring you peace within. Thank you for sharing this first coffee reflection with me. This is just the beginning. I'm excited to keep going on this journey with you, one cup of coffee at a time. If you found today's reflection helpful or insightful, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts or even your own reflections. Anyway, until the next one, I hope your day is as good as this coffee. Take care.